Hi everybody, I am Tamiyka White. I am the founder of Black Girl Magic Creative Series and I'm the host of our monthly podcast, In the Middle, where we'll be talking about what we are actually in the middle of. This is our 4th episode. We are actually recording it right now on Juneteenth, so happy Juneteenth to everyone, and it will be airing or premiering on our YouTube channel on the last Sunday of the month. I am very excited about today. I'm always excited about every episode, but when I get to talk to not only a fellow member, but also a friend and a sister, and but I know her as Val. She's going to actually introduce herself because she told me I never pronounce her name correctly, and I just want to make sure that goes on the record right now that she's not wrong. And I don't do it on purpose because I make sure I try to get that right. But anyway, I digress. Welcome to the 4th episode of In the Middle. And we're going to be constantly answering the question, asking the question, continuing the conversation of what are you in the middle of? Are you in the middle of a crisis? Are you in the middle of career change? Are you in the middle of a relationship? We can talk about that within discretion. We do respect privacy. So without further ado, I will get this conversation started and welcome my girl. Hey.
Hey.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Yep, girl.
All the things.
I could be a hologram right now. You're not quite sure if I'm here.
I know, right?
Right. Anyway, but welcome. I'm so glad.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, of course. So, we're just going to chit-chat, in these people's living rooms as they're viewing and doing whatever else. But we're just going to talk for this next hour about that very thing. But before we get started, let's start at the beginning. Let the people know who you are and what you do. And then I'll start the investigation.
Oh, not the investigation.
Right. What were you on the night of? No. I feel like it is a good investigation.
Yeah,
though, right?
You are an investigator.
Right, exactly.
Well, my name, as you know, my name is Valaira Sarah. I go by Val, so everyone calls me Val. I am a filmmaker, producer, and director, and actress, although I haven't been acting much. I've been more behind the scenes. But I started in this business as a model, as you know. When I was 16 years old, I started as a model and have been modeling for a while, up until about 25-ish or so, when I started going to college. How I got into this business, when I went to a community college in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I needed to, I was transferring to a university, 4-year university, but I needed some credits. So, a teacher was like, well, just take a creative course. How about you go into acting? She was like, you look like you should be an actor. And I was like, acting? I don't know nothing about that. That ain't really, my thing. I'm a model,
I take pictures.
Yeah, I take pictures. I pose, And she was like, no, I think you'll be a good actress. And I was like, okay, well. So I took a class.
Yeah.
And that was it. That was it for me.
Bug.
I got the bug. I was like, wow. I mean, it was just the whole thing of acting and the whole skill of it and embodying a character and stuff. It's really, really a skill.
Right.
And I really learned about acting.
And you heard that, people. It's a skill. It's a real
skill.
job.
Yes.
It requires work.
Yeah, people think acting is easy. It is not easy.
Your little hobby.
Yeah, it's not a hobby.
No.
It is not easy.
Yeah.
And so once I got that bug, I wanted to go delve right in, got my education, started with the community college. I did go to a 4-year college and I got a bachelor's degree.
Okay.
In Greensboro, North Carolina A&T, Aggie Pride.
Okay, Aggies. That's all right. Shout
Aggie
out.
Pride.
Yeah.
I didn't graduate from there because I was partying. So
who was it?
So I had to. When I got real about my education.
Right. Now, what were you pursuing as the major there at ATT?
Well, the funny thing is that I've always been interested in psychology.
Okay.
So I had started pursuing the major of psychology.
Okay.
But I wanted to be a psychiatrist.
Okay.
But didn't realize that as a psychiatrist, you have to go to medical school.
Yep. People
to
don't know
prescribe
that.
medicine. People don't know
People
that.
don't think that.
People don't think that,
yeah.
right? When I found that, I was like, I don't want to go to medical school because I don't. That's not me. I'm not.
Yeah, they
interested
get a bad
in
rap.
medicine.
Psychiatrists and dentists. Yeah, they're real doctors.
Yeah,
they have to go to medical school.
You have to go to medical school.
Yeah.
But I'm still very much interested in psychology. So
yeah,
I
the
didn't
human
want
brain of things.
Yeah,
like behavior.
Right, behavior. Right. So once I decided that, I didn't want to go to medical school, I changed my major to business.
Okay.
And so I went into business administration.
Okay.
But like I said, I was at North Carolina A&T, and that is known for a party school. And at the time, I was partying because that was my first time out of the house.
Right, away from home.
Away from home.
Right.
So I wasn't, I got caught up in all of that, and I had,
and that's the South too.
Yeah.
From where you're originally from.
Yeah, I'm originally from Bronx, New York
Bronx,
City.
New York.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And shout out to New York.
Yeah.
To the Knicks.
Yeah. Shout out to the Knicks.
Right.
That's right.
We are not necessarily looking for a brand deal, but if you catch this, we ain't mad at it.
So I once I finally got serious, I decided, okay, I do want to get an actual degree. So I'm not really, here is not a good fit for me to do that because I was too distracted.
Yeah.
So I decided to move back home with my mom in Charlotte, North Carolina, and go to Montreat College. Montreat College is a small college, Christian college, in the country of the mountains of North Carolina. However, I went to a satellite location, and I got my bachelor's degree there.
Even smaller
environment. Yeah. They were very busy and focused.
Yeah.
So I made that decision to do that, and I got a bachelor's degree. And I didn't really like Charlotte, North Carolina, because, I'm from the Bronx.
Right.
But my mom had moved to Charlotte because a lot of her family was down there.
Yeah.
And it was better environment compared to New York at that time.
Sure.
So I was like, once I get my degree, I'm moving back to New York. and that's what I did.
Yeah.
Once I got my bachelor's, I moved back to New York City in 2001.
Okay.
So I was in New York City, in the Bronx, New York in 2001. And guess what happened in 2001?
Of course.
And the funny thing is, a fellow sister of ours, Sonia, had experienced 9/11 at the same time in D.C. I experienced 9/11 at the exact same time in New York City.
And I was in Chicago.
And you was in Chicago.
Working on a show.
Yeah.
When I heard the towers.
Yeah, and I worked not too far from where the towers hit.
Wow.
And so when the towers were hit at that time in 2001, our whole building, I was like on the 30-something floor of our high rise. We were thinking planes are hitting high rises. So we had to run down and all of that. Right. And I was in all the smoke and all of that. That was a very traumatic time for me because I was actually in all of it, like experiencing it.
In the middle of that trauma.
Which is funny because I didn't know that about our sister. I didn't know that at all. So when she said that, I was just like, wow, it's amazing how our paths
are connected
intersectionally.
Yep.
So you never know what people, when you really sit down and talk to people or learn about their lives, you never know how connected you are to them.
Exactly.
So I was in the middle of that. And after that happened, I stayed in New York for about 2 years or so. Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, my aunt at the time needed a kidney, and I decided I was going to be a kidney donor for her. So I moved back to the South, but she passed away, so I didn't have an opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
So I was in the South, and then I moved again, but I didn't like Charlotte. I'm in Charlotte, and I was like, I can't be here.
Charlotte, but
nothing against. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah. Because I was just there last year for the NAACP convention.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful place.
It's a beautiful place, but I want to live here. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I mean, you know, it's not
it's
for
an
everyone.
acquired taste for everyone.
It's an acquired taste, yeah. So I moved to Atlanta.
Oh, the ATL, baby.
ATL.
Yeah.
And I got my master's there.
Okay, right on.
So I got my master's in Atlanta. And that's where my acting career started to take off.
Okay.
Because you know, I took some classes when I was in New York. I took some acting classes while I was in New York City.
Yeah.
And then I went to Atlanta, took some acting classes. But Atlanta,
after you went back, you got the acting classes in New York after you finished The
After
little
I finished,
satellite campus.
yeah, after I finished my bachelor's, I went to New York,
and then your
got my
aunt,
acting classes in New York.
you had to go back to Charlotte because of your aunt,
Right,
and then she passed away.
Yeah,
and then
I moved to Atlanta
and got your master's.
Yeah,
Okay.
got my
All
master's
right.
there.
So you was in the middle of all of this migration.
Yeah, I was, huge migration. Yeah,
Nomadic for sure.
Yeah, really. Just a time of discovery at that time in my life. Just trying to figure out where I fit in, what works, and things were happening, and so you have to move where while things are happening. So I was in Atlanta.
Yeah.
I took some acting classes there. And that's where Atlanta was movie industry was starting to grow.
Okay.
Because
so what are we talking, like the 90s now? We're talking like, I mean,
this is
2000, early, like in the 2000s,
yeah.
sorry.
This is 2003.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
2003 up until 2013.
Okay, so 10 years.
10 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
cut your teeth for real.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's where I was just kind of building up my acting, my resume.
Yeah.
Because I did some acting in New York, but it was mostly theater.
Right.
So, yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about that. This is good. I want to stay here a little bit longer if you don't mind. Because this is really, and you're right, when you sit down, and we've known each other for a while. But like and even so far since we've been doing the podcast, I've been I'm learning so much more about every last one of us.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
But until we talk.
Because we're always busy. We don't really sit down.
There's never really like a time where we can just all be together. I mean, of course, we have our monthly meetings, and that's always business and agenda. And it's agenda. I try to give room for it at the top. Like, how's everybody doing? Everybody thinking? Anybody got some wins? Blah, blah, blah. But to sit down and just really have a conversation and to have a little chit chat.
Yeah.
So let's stay in Atlanta a little bit. You were there anyway for 10 years.
Yeah.
So now coming from New York. You didn't do any acting. You were more in Charlotte. When you were in Charlotte, you were partying. You were discovering yourself, but like you didn't really. You took the class by way of the advisory of the woman at the modeling agency or whatever. But but like to really get in, start like, okay, now I'm going to start taking this seriously. Like this is where Val is now in the in the career of higher education. I got to get out of these. Y'all going to take me down with y'all. You know what I mean? Because, and girl, I know. And I was 45 miles up the highway in Houston, Texas. Yeah. So I get it. Yeah. I was like, talk about a different world for sure. Yeah. So how is it? Talk to me and us out there about while you're doing this, while you're building this resume, while you're getting into this, like we all are and still am, shifting, building, shaping what you think your acting career wants to look like or could look like by comparison of this migration that you were in the middle of. You're going from all these different parts of the country. You're a Bronx girl. You're going to the country, and then you're going back to the city. Then you're going back to another like real big city, but it's still kind of low key country. But we love Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like that's what it's hitting over here, which is prompting me to ask this long-winded question. But at the same time, like what's in the middle of like that discovery for you with all that thing intersectionally happening as far as like, with the acting and building the resume? Like what was the differences? What did you notice? Was it film? You get into film in Atlanta as opposed to, like you said, you did theater in New York. Get into that a little bit deeper.
Yeah, so it is different because I don't know how many people had when you're in the industry, if you have an opportunity to see the difference of the different region and how different regions move and operate. So I've had a opportunity to act in New York, Atlanta, and LA. And there is a difference. New York, when I was in there, when I went to New York, that's when I really started taking acting seriously. Like that's when I wanted to focus and be an actor. I had to get a job because,
how you gonna eat?
How you gonna eat?
Where you gonna sleep?
But in between my job, I was going to auditions on my lunch break. I was taking the train, going to auditions. You know, that was my discovery of
that
what
place makes
it's
you hustle.
about.
Yeah, that place makes you hustle.
Yeah, that hustle
Real.
is real.
Yeah,
it's
And you better make sure you. Well, I don't know if the MTA card was around the 2000. Yeah, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
But like, you better make sure it's loaded.
You better make sure it's loaded. You better make sure you get your audition and make sure it's close by so you can get back from work. And I was
can
doing
go to
the whole
Bronx
thing.
in Manhattan.
Yeah. So I was doing the whole thing, and then audition when I got off of work, and then going home, and so that was just a really, really hustle time. But also, that New York will put some hair on your chest. You know, like they are very no nonsense. Let me tell you, they're no nonsense. They're gonna tell you up front, next. Thank you. Bye. Exit left.
Yeah. Or they hiring at the post office. Like, for real.
Like, you will know
this is not for you.
You will know it's not for you, or this project is not for you.
Right.
You know, we're not going to accept you. So you
but know. But I don't waste time like that.
Yeah, they don't waste time. You know, up front. And they're very in your face about what they want, what they need, and stuff. And it's just really a hustle grind. So that really just gave me the cojones to to like, okay, well, this is some serious stuff, girl. You need to. And I was, I'm a very introvert. I was a very introvert, shy person, so that kind of just took me out of my shell, my comfort zone, because I was like shocked. You're like, oh, this is kind of shocking to my soul.
You're not in Kansas no more.
You're not in Kansas anymore.
Right.
So anyway, that's a little bit different. Then when I went to Atlanta, Atlanta is a mini New York, but Atlanta was not, at the time that I went, was not as huge in the movie industry, TV industry as New York was. So it's a little bit slower, but they were starting to build up. So it was starting to increase. When I went there, it was not a lot of theater, because I did a lot of my theater work in New York, but it wasn't a lot of theater there. It was mostly like short films, movies here and there, web series, yeah. And that was the time when LA movie industry migrating over to the South, but it was at the beginning. Yeah. So I left. Yeah. Well, mid
like 2005 ish. 10. Are we getting
no 2010. Well, 2010. So I actually left Atlanta when LA movie industry was coming. I moved to LA.
Okay, prematurely.
So prematurely.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So I did get some work in LA. I was taking in Atlanta, I took courses and stuff there. But again, it was very much slow. So that was the difference between LA and New York. Atlanta and New York. Atlanta was a really slow.
Just resume building.
Yeah.
Now, are we getting into, while this is we're still on this part of the conversation, are we understanding the other parts of it as far as, again, how do I want this career to look like? Do we know anything about unions? Have you heard anything about that?
I didn't even know anything about unions. Yeah. I just wanted to be in.
You just want to be performing.
I wanted to be performing. I wanted to be in movies. Like, that was my goal. I wanted to be in movies. But not knowing that maybe
if this is a SAG.
I had no idea.
You had no idea.
I didn't know anything about SAG, non-union. Well, actually, that's when I learned about it. Because when I went there. No. When I went there, I didn't know anything about SAG and any of that. When I started, getting little gigs here and there, someone said to me, "Are you SAG?" And I was like, "I don't know what that is." And it was like, "Well, you can be SAG eligible on this project." And that's how I learned about SAG and non-union and all of that.
Right.
So that's how I actually became SAG eligible in Atlanta.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how I learned that. And so, that was a whole thing. And then I moved from Atlanta in 2013, moved to LA. Realized about LA is that it's competitive. So I wasn't getting booked as much as I was getting booked in New York and Atlanta. And And so I'm very much take the reins, take the bull by its horn and lead it myself. I'm very much like that. If I see something's not working, I'm like, oh, I'm going to do this myself. And so that's how I got into producing, directing, and all of that. Because I was like, I can't wait on somebody to give me opportunity. I'm gonna open my own door. I'm gonna create my door and open it for myself.
Ourselves.
So that's how I got into that. And I was like, okay, so what do I want to do? How do I want to start? I'm going to start with a short film. I'm going to make a short film. And so I was like, I'm going to make a short film, or I'm going to partner with someone to make a short film. And before I moved to LA, I'm a researcher. I'm a sleuth, right?
We're also fellow Scorpios.
Yeah.
So we have very much that in common.
Yeah. So I'm a researcher. I call myself a little stalker.
Yeah.
Because if I want
professional stalker.
Okay,
so
professional
we can
stalker.
trademark it if you want.
Okay. So when I want something, I'm gonna stalk it. Or if I want someone, I'm going to stalk you.
Yeah.
So not like that.
Astrologers would call that obsession.
Yeah, obsession. Yeah. So I had started looking up people, film producers, directors in LA, and just friending them on Facebook.
Yeah.
So if I saw that you was in the movie industry, or did something with movies, or film producer, director, actress, or whatever, I would friend you.
Exactly.
So that's how I start building up this group of people that I knew who were in the industry, and I started reaching out to them.
Yeah.
And I would reach out to say, I'm an actress, or I'm a producer. I would love to partner on a short film. Are you doing anything? I would just put myself out there.
Yeah.
I would shoot my shot.
Yeah.
Type thing.
We will shoot our shot.
If you don't shoot your shot, you're not going to get anywhere.
Will.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was just taking a risk, and I partnered with a young lady. Her name was Hazel, on my first short film. She and I produced it. We actually wrote it together. She was like, sure. I didn't know this chick from The Man in the Moon. I didn't know her.
Right.
And she was like, sure, and she was just so open and everything. And to this day, she and I are friends.
Yeah.
And so, we got together, we met at Starbucks, and we sat down, we came up with an idea. We both wrote it.
Yeah.
And we was like, okay, so how are we going to do this? Like, okay, now you got this idea.
Yeah, right.
How you gonna do it?
Yeah.
So we was like, well, let's just put out an ad on Craigslist. That's when Craigslist was still kind of the thing. I don't even know if that's a thing
I don't
now.
even know. I have not even been there, and I don't think I will be.
Yeah. So we use Craigslist. We use Mandy and all of that.
Sure.
To get our crew together and to find actors and stuff. And we had a very low budget, so we got people who would sponsor us and whatnot. And on a weekend, we was like, okay, we're going to do this in one weekend. I was like, oh, how are we going to do this in a weekend? We put our schedule together and we just made it happen. And that's when I learned how to make a film. And from there, I was nonstop. I was gone.
Yeah. Now, were you directing that with Hazel? Or
she directed it. I produced it with her and co-wrote it with her. And was like first AD, just kind of like her shadow, because this was my first time.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to kind of observe and, just kind of see what does it set? What is, how I've been on set, but what is it?
Yeah.
How does it operate from behind the scenes? Because it's different from being out in front of the camera.
Yeah, that's really interesting because, people. You already know my philosophy and my thoughts. We could be here all day, but it's a different bird eye view, isn't it?
Oh, it's
when
different,
you're on the other side of the camera. It's one thing for us as actors to be okay. We got our call time. We know we're on the call sheet. We know where we fall on the call sheet.
Yeah.
If you're not number one or at the top 10 or whatever, but either way, you know where the location is. You got all the information. You've been talking to second unit. You've been talking to first AD via email, communicating with them. But when if you're paying attention, if you're even in the observing, in the sleuthing, in the professional stalking, you are, as an actor, I'm watching everybody on set.
Yeah.
If they can allow me to come to set early, I'll just sit back and observe. But then when you get on the other side,
it's different.
It's a totally different ballgame.
Yeah, that's a whole different thing. like acting is focused on performance, remembering lines, it's focused on being in the moment. It's completely different skill set than behind the scenes. Behind the scenes is financing and budgeting. It's organizing food.
It's really building the sausage factory.
It's a whole thing behind it. So
a lot of moving parts.
A lot of moving parts. Post and pre and post.
Pre and post.
Which is really important. So And were you making? Did you find yourself when you were working with Hazel on that first short together? She directing you, y'all both producing and co-writing. Are you coming in the middle of any type of realization and discovery, like, oh, this is a good place, a safe place. This is a place of joy that I want to be in. Oh yeah, I am an organizer by nature. Like that's just a part of who I am in general. Just from organizing my house to organizing events to organizing, just anything. I am an organizer by nature.
Right.
And to me, a part of making a film, all of that is organizing, because you have to be very A-type personality,
and meticulous.
Very meticulous, very detailed, in all the things you do, and even directing is organizing, because you have to make sure the continuity is good. You have to make sure everything is in the right place. You have to all of that. You have to figure out where the actors need to be. All of that's just organizing.
Yeah. So
that's how my brain worked. And when I was in that position, I was like, oh, this just falls into who I am, my being.
Right.
This producing directing is just...
It's already existing anyway.
It's already there. It's inherently there.
Yeah.
And you don't know that until you...
Because we've been trained this way, or we brought into this campaign, and that's not a bad campaign on that particular part of the journey. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, sitting in those in those classrooms, just like myself. Okay, this is what I thought it was to be. Tamiyka is an actor. I'm majoring in theater.
Right.
This is what I'm doing, and this is the system.
Right.
But then you get out in the real world, and you understand that because that's learning on the job. And then you building these skills.
Because how else was I gonna get it?
How you gonna learn it?
How am I learn
Nobody
it?
ain't gonna tell. Speckley ain't come over here.
Yeah.
We hope you.
And this is the other thing I learned about LA. LA is very cliquish. LA, it's hard to get into a clique here.
Yeah.
If you don't know people and someone don't bring you in, it's hard to get in anywhere. So how are you going to learn it? I was new to LA. I didn't know anyone.
Right.
Nobody was going to say, oh, Val, yeah, you can co-produce with me, like a major movie or anything like that. So how am I going to get that experience?
Unless you go into the extensive, fellowship programs.
Yeah, but those are hard to get
so
into.
difficult to get into.
Like those are difficult, and I've tried that. I'm still trying to today.
No shade on certain comedy organizations. They will remain nameless, but like I have applied so many times since I've been here.
Yeah.
And it's like, what am I doing wrong? And then you know what? I move on.
Yeah, I move on. I mean, I can't wait on you or someone to think I'm worthy or give me an opportunity. I'm not doing that. Yeah. So I will create my own lane. I mean, you have to, because otherwise you'll be waiting till you're 99 years old. And, ain't nobody got time for that. The wellness part came about when I experienced depression. And I had experienced depression for a long period of time and didn't realize it. Yeah. So this was years I was depressed. Yeah. And it came to a head, and I'm here in LA, and it came to a head when I found myself angry all the time. I was just angry. And I was like, what is it? I'm angry. And then I would have these crying spells, and I'm like, what is going on with me? And I'm like, oh, Val, you're depressed. That's when it hit me, like, oh, okay, I need to go to therapy. Yeah. So I did therapy because I've had a lot of trauma in my life that I've never dealt with. Sure. That I was holding in my body and didn't know. And when you're holding trauma in your body, when you're holding trauma, it's going to come out somehow.
Yeah, it's going to catch up with you.
It's going to catch up with you. the energy never goes away.
Yeah.
You either have to deal with it and transform that, or it's going to show up in your life somehow.
Yeah.
And so I was finding that trauma was showing up in different ways that I didn't realize. And then I decided to go to therapy, and I did therapy a little bit. And I was discovered self-therapy as well. So I was doing both. I was healing myself on my spiritual journey, healing myself, but also going to therapy to talk it out and get some things out as well. And so at that time, to me, wellness became a spiritual journey for me, because that's when I discovered meditation. That's when I discovered breathing. And it's funny because when I was younger, my mom would always tell me to breathe and to count to 10. And I didn't realize that that's just a part of, wellness. Yeah. And so I came into meditation, breathing, and yoga. Yeah. Yoga, when I discovered yoga, it was a wrap. Yeah. Because yoga allowed me to, I remember I went to my first yoga class and I cried. And I was just like, why am I crying? Like, what? And I'm just like, please don't let people see you crying. Oh my God, what is wrong with you? Yeah. And so I was just like, what is wrong? But it was really awesome. A discovery to me because it was so peaceful. And it was like, yoga is more than just stretching. It's more than the asana part. It's called, the postures are called asanas. Okay. That's only like 10% of what yoga is. Yoga is a philosophy of discovering inner peace. Okay. And so, so two things happened in my discovery in the middle of my depression and discovering an inner peace of wellness. Two things happened. One, I decided to take what I've been through and transform that into a creative aspect, to get that out creatively. So I created a documentary called The Rhythm of Blue. Yeah. And that was about Black women who are experiencing or have experienced depression or mental health. Right. And that included you. You were in that documentary. It was a beautiful piece. Yeah. And I wanted to do that along with a sister, JC Thomas, along with her. Shout out to JC. I wanted to do that because Black women at the time were not talking about depression or mental health. Right. Being so that's just not known in our communities. It's not known in our community, and it was considered taboo. Yeah, you were considered crazy. Yeah. It was just rejected. We don't do that. We don't talk about that. We don't do that. Mm-hmm. We're strong. Yeah. We can handle everything. Black woman. Oh. We're hustlers. All of the things that was getting us nowhere. Yeah. To be honest with you. And so I wanted to do that piece and address that, but also not only show that Black women were going through depression, but show the beauty of trauma. Yeah, because they're on the other side. Yeah. Because trauma is trauma, and all of us experience it. However, there's beauty in that trauma when you come to the other side and you find healing, you find peace on the other side of your trauma. Yeah. And there's lessons in the trauma. Oh, the lessons are the lessons are blessings. Are blessings. Yeah. So that I did that, and then the other thing that I did with that discovery, being in the middle of depression, is I discovered yoga, like I said. So I started taking and doing yoga. And a part of my journey is I wanted to get a yoga teacher's license. Yeah. So I ended up getting my certificate, a 200-hour certificate in teaching yoga. Yeah. And I did that because I wanted to offer the peace that I was feeling to others. Right. Just being still, breathing and stretching. Stretching, as we get older, as we get more seasoned, our bodies decides that it wants to have a mind of its own. How dare it? How dare it? Yeah. And it does all these things that we don't want it to do, and it causes us all this pain. And so I was going through, like, experiencing pain in my back and knees and stuff, and I was like, what is this? And you ain't really even got out the bed yet. Yeah, this is unfamiliar. Yeah, exactly. Like, I ain't got time for this pain. No, I got stuff to do. So So I was like, okay, how can I relieve the pain?
Yeah.
And
Gotta address it, though.
Yeah, gotta address it. And what I discover is when you stretch, it actually relieves pain. So yoga, it actually helps. And I'm not I don't claim to be a doctor, but yoga helps you. It relieves pain because you're not only working out your limbs and stuff, but you're also stretching, which we need to do anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of times we don't stretch.
Right.
And when you're stretching, you're releasing toxins that are in your body. And when you're sweating, you're releasing toxins that are in your body. And guess what toxins are? It's just a part of the trauma that's in your body.
Yeah.
So you have to, it has to come out.
And the debris that's
that's
been building up. Yeah.
So we hold a lot of stuff, even if you haven't had like major trauma, stress, we're holding in our bodies.
Anything that triggers like that.
Anything, we're holding all of that stuff in our beings. And we wonder why people are angry. We wonder why people are road rage and stuff. It's because they got all this stuff in them,
Just
and they don't
up, and it's not been released from their
Nothing
bodies.
has been released.
Yeah.
So it's going to come out in all these different factions and ways that creates a world of this everything. It just creates a world of anger and stuff. And so anyway, but getting back to the wellness, that's how I came about the wellness and a part of it. And I know we wanted to bring wellness into Black Girl Magic Creative Series because it is a part of creatives. As creatives, you are stressed out.
Yeah, you can't get to that creative. You can't do that. That work that you're trying to create. If something is blocking, and if it is the trauma, it is something you didn't mentally or emotionally address.
Right. Or if you're just
stressed out and just stressed out. Right.
You need something to
or depressed
to release that. And so we need an avenue of wellness, and that's just that's for everyone.
That's everybody.
That's not just for women
creatives,
or creatives.
Yeah,
that's just for everyone. Mm-hmm. So I encourage people to find something
and make the world peaceful.
Yeah, make the world peaceful, but find something to relieve that trauma, to relieve the stress. Rather that be through hiking, because I love hiking.
Right, you do love going out in nature.
Yeah, in nature, yoga, rather that be exercising, walking, riding bikes. Some people, whatever. Get it out and get active, because being active helps to relieve.
Not sedentary.
Yeah, and it just makes us happier people.
So on that note, I am going to just thank you from the bottom of my heart for just being here.
Thank you.
And just sharing and being vulnerable and just tapping into it, because for us to even talk about, I live with depression as well. The majority of the planet does, but and I mean that respectfully. Like I mean that, but it's like, but to say it out loud, is a different thing.
Yes.
And it took me a while to even say that word.
Yeah.
So it's like, thank God for my for therapy. Shout out to Dr. Liam Seidel. Okay, love you. You're amazing. You're a rock star. My therapist rocks. I love him. But
and there's two things I want to say about that.
Yes, please.
It is hard for people to say it out loud, to own their trauma, or to own and say I've been depressed, because there's such a stigma on it. It is hard, but let me just say this: it is okay, because like you said, a lot of us are going through a lot of things, and social media will have you thinking otherwise.
Yes,
and do not believe it, because it is not true. It's an illusion. Yeah. A lot of us are going through a lot of things, and it's okay. You can get yourself to a better place. That's number one.
Yes.
So own it. It's okay to own it. And number two, let's stop looking for ourselves in the room. Create the room.
Right.
Yourself.
Right.
Because nobody else is going to do it.
I only would add to that, looking for yourself in the room because you want to bring something. There's something that you think that person can be with whatever you're building.
Right.
It's okay. So look for other fellow villagers. If you want to, because you over there in your little part of the village trying to building something.
Right.
And it would be good if I could see, because that person might have stronger carpenter
yeah,
skills
yeah.
and could be of service
Right.
and be beneficial to what you are building. So I
Right.
agree with that. And
That's the caveat to
And
it.
hey, this is why we work together. You know what I'm saying? I love it. So, and if we can't, I don't know how long it's been for Rhythm of Blue, but maybe that's something that we can take a look at. It just came to me to screen as a part of a wellness moment, for BGMCS.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think that would be a wonder and invite the ladies back. But other than that, I think we are out of time. It has been great.
Yes,
Make sure that you tune into this on the last Sunday of the month. It is on our YouTube channel. We are Black Girl Magic Creative Series. I am your host. I am the founder. This is one of our founding members. This has been my guest today, and it has been an absolute joy. Make sure that you follow us on all of our socials. We are on Instagram. We are on TikTok. We are on Facebook. We are on LinkedIn. Okay? We have a website, demoreel.com/BGMCS. And we welcome all of your support. Spread the word, and we will see you next time. Thank you so much.
Bye.